Exterior, day, cityscape. An overhead view of the city. Large skyscrapers twinkle in the afternoon sun. Close in on a rooftop where Detective Cardinal walks to the entrance of a rooftop stairway. Camera zooms past Cardinal to a single room on the 8th floor of an adjacent office building. Interior, day, surveillance room. Detective Kestrel sits with headphones at a desk, looking through binoculars out an office window into an apartment across the street. Camera pulls back. Detective Starling sits next to him with headphones and a tape recorder. Both are listening to a conversation an art dealer is having on the phone.
You can have complete confidence. Yes, yes. Sure. Yes, of course. This afternoon. Yes, delivery can be made this afternoon. Very reliable. Cash? Yes. No. Only cash. Well, you can understand the need for discretion. Fine, fine. I look forward to seeing you and your charming wife, of course. 3 o'clock. Very well. See you then.
It's today.
What do we do? Do we call in? Do we call downtown?
Let's just wait on...
Detective Cardinal suddenly walks into the room. She hangs her field glasses on a wall hook.
What have you got?
It's happening. Today.
I knew it. I told you it would happen today, didn't I?
Well, do we call in? What do we do here?
They know what's going on downtown. We don't need to bring them in. This is our gig, remember?
But shouldn't we get more help?
Cardinal walks over to Starling.
Shouldn't we get more help? Listen, Rookie, we can handle this.
Cardinal walks over to Kestrel, leans very close to Kestrel, and looks at him square in the face.
We know what we're looking for.
A bedroom at night lit up by a lamp. Camera pans to right, showing Kestrel and Cardinal in bed.
What's his name again? The Duke of...
Beddington.
Beddington.
You got it. Eldest illegitimate son of Marsden III. That's royal blood going back centuries.
Royal blood.
Sure. Beddington's family goes back to the Charwick era. Lord Simpson was the elder statesman of the county of Windermere. It's one of the oldest known.
Okay, I get it. These are important people.
Cardinal smiles and moves closer to Kestrel.
Yes, they all live in large castles and have servants and gold pocket watches. They even have garden parties on the weekend. Big yachts, fast cars. You get the picture.
I get the picture. So these people are rich and own a lot of fancy things. Good for them.
Yes, indeed, good for them.
Interior, day, surveillance room. Kestrel looks through binoculars with headphones. Starling sits next to Kestrel, feeding tape into a reel-to-reel tape recorder. He eats a donut.
Monosodium glutamate, trans fats, God knows what else. It's a great sugar rush, though.
Well, it's your funeral. Why don't you try a banana for a change? No mystery there. It's very healthy for you.
Bananas are for the lower species, my friend.
Well, maybe we could learn a thing or two from the lower species, my friend.
Okay, you guys are set?
Cardinal looks up at the surveillance location.
Hang tight for a minute.
Come on, you guys, let's not mess around here.
Starling stuffs the remainder of a donut in his mouth. He then finishes threading the reel-to-reel tape recorder.
Okay.
You're set?
Starling nods in agreement.
Okay, we're good to go.
Cardinal sits alone on a bench in the park and looks casually around her. Kestrel, through binoculars, observes people in the park. Children playing, office workers on lunch. He spots a well-dressed woman and follows her. The woman approaches Cardinal seated on the park bench.
Roll the tape.
Starling presses the record button on the reel-to-reel tape recorder.
Cardinal, I presume? Like the bird?
Cardinal laughs.
Or perhaps the capital vices.
Come again?
It's not your name by birth, that much is clear. A code name, perhaps, top secret and all that jazz.
Listen, we don't have a lot of time here.
Sure, no time like the present, time and tide, etc.
Something like that.
Well, I'm not accustomed to sneaking around like this. I hope you can appreciate my concerns.
You can rest assured no one will bother us here. We know you're sticking your neck out.
My neck out.
Look, I mean, we appreciate what you're doing. You're perfectly safe. Can you help us or not?
Straight to business. Okay, have you got something for me?
You first. You can trust me.
The woman in the park smiles.
Trust you? Well, I suppose you can't shake hands with a closed fist. The exchange will take place soon.
Kestrel and Starling listen to the conversation with their headphones.
There are 3 people involved, 2 Americans and a local art broker. The meeting will happen at the Norst building on 72nd Street, room 620. I can't tell you precisely when the transaction will take place, but I do know that the owner is looking for at least $27 million. Who might pay that amount for a faded old painting is beyond me.
What about the painting?
Well, the canvas is not very big, 50 by 36 centimeters. Da Vinci named it La Madonna de Fusi. We know it as Madonna of the Yarn Winder. It was stolen about 3 years ago by a couple of hacks.
And the purchaser? Who's buying the thing?
Perhaps at this point we can discuss my fee.
Cardinal pulls an envelope from her inside pocket. Cardinal hands the envelope to the woman.
The purchaser?
The purchaser? 2 amateurs, really. Not all that clever. There's hardly a market for stolen artwork of this sort. Prestige, I suppose. Possibly a handsome commission.
I need names.
A husband and wife, Lester and Marcella Trimble. Young Americans based out of San Francisco. Their background is small time, bogus land deals, online swindles. Not much imagination.
The woman in the park pauses. A couple walks past.
They have no experience with this level of crime. They must be buying for a collector, possibly Italian. I can't help you with that end of it. The buyer will have some kind of patriotic obligation, returning the work to the homeland, and access to a lot of money.
Kestrel and Cardinal lie in bed together.
I just don't get it. It makes no sense.
Look, it's a question of status, maybe. That's it. Try to imagine. This is a work of art, created by a master over 500 years ago.
But who would pay?
Someone with more money than sense. But remember what our goal is here. Recovery of stolen goods. We're the good guys.
Yeah, sure, the good guys.
Exterior, day, street through binoculars. Kestrel looks through binoculars at the street below. Buteo is dressed as a street vendor behind a hot dog stand. A hooker walks towards Buteo. The hooker suddenly stops walking. The hooker turns around, approaches Buteo, and leans on his cart.
How's business? Got a hot dog for me?
Tell her to get lost.
Get lost.
Come on, honey. You don't have to be rude. I've been working this street a lot longer than you.
Get rid of her.
Beat it, lady.
Lady. I like your style.
Kestrel's eyebrows furrow as he focuses on something. An old woman with a cane walks past. Kestrel follows the old woman as she walks to the entrance of the Norst building. The old woman anxiously looks around her.
Follow the cane.
You're kind of cute. Come on. I've got a place we can go to down the street.
Listen, I'm a cop, all right?
A cop? Man, I never get a break with you guys.
The camera zooms in on Buteo's eyes. Buteo's eyes move to the left, following the old woman. The old woman with the cane enters the Norst building. Buteo looks up at the surveillance location.
She's gone. She went in.
Kestrel rests his face in his hands, looking frustrated.
I can see that. Okay, just get yourself up here.
Kestrel turns to Starling. The hooker continues to rant.
Can't you find somewhere else to play policeman? This is bullshit, you understand me? You guys have no right.
Interior, night, bedroom. Cardinal and Kestrel lie in bed together. Cardinal gives Kestrel a back massage.
Look, you have to admit it's a thankless job.
Thankless? You shouldn't look at it that way. It's a living, that's it, end of story.
Aren't you tired of it? I mean, what is there to prove?
Prove? I don't know where you're going with this. It's just a job, nothing more.
Sure it is. You train, work your way up the ranks, take home your pay, put in the hours, deal with bureaucracy, and then one day, the golden handshake. Chase golf balls for the rest of your days.
Well, maybe you need to move on. You're still in your prime. Find something new.
Interior, apartment through binoculars. The art dealer sits at his desk. Across from him sit Lester and Marcella Trimble on a couch. Kestrel and Starling listen closely to the conversation.
You're sure it's authentic?
Absolutely authentic. There is no question.
Marcella Trimble turns to Lester.
Can we trust this guy?
Hey, honey, if you have a problem, just move on.
There's no problem. No problem at all.
Lester places his hand on Marcella's knee.
We just want to be sure this is the real thing.
You know, I've been in this business a long time. Longer than I care to remember, in fact. I can assure you, there are not many paintings of this value on the market.
You know something. You're lucky we're taking it off your hands.
Not my hands. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just a broker. If you don't want it, lady, there's the door.
Camera pans to left to reveal the door. A knock comes at the door. The art dealer stands up and walks to the door. He opens the door. An old woman stands in the doorway. The art dealer smiles.
Signora Fantalei,
The art dealer kisses the old woman on both cheeks.
come sta? Spero che fate un bel viaggio.
Starling listens with headphones and translates to English out loud.
How are you? I hope you had a nice trip.
Sì, sì, senza problema, grazie.
Yes, no problem.
Di dove viene? Da Milano diretto?
Did you come directly from Milano?
Who the hell is this? Can you speak English for Christ's sake?
Hun, please sit down.
Marcella Trimble walks towards the art dealer and Signora Fantalei. She places her hands on the art dealer's desk.
Well, do you have it or not? Is that the painting? I want to see it.
Now let's all relax. There's plenty of time.
Patience, my dear, serves as a protection against wrongs, as clothes do against the cold.
What is this old hag talking about?
For if you put on more clothes as the cold increases, it will have no power to hurt you. È vero, signora? Non posso offerte qualcosa da bere, signora Fantalei?
Can I offer you something to drink?
No, no, grazie. Devo andare subito.
No, thank you. I have to get going.
Come on, let's go. We're wasting time here.
Take it easy, Marcella.
Signora Fantalei walks towards Marcella and Lester with the covered painting.
This, my young friends, is a treasure I'm sure you'll have no appreciation for. The Virgin Mary and the Christ child depicted with such tenderness. It will hold no special meaning for you. Your reward is financial, to be sure.
Interior, day, surveillance room. Kestrel puts down his binoculars. He then picks up a camera with a long-range lens. Kestrel snaps pictures as Signora Fantalei takes the painting from the art dealer and holds it up in front of Marcella and Lester. Kestrel continues to snap pictures as Signora Fantalei removes the cover from the painting.
This is it?
The art dealer takes the painting from Signora Fantalei.
Ah, la Madonna dei Fusi. Che bello. This, my friends, is a genuine Da Vinci.
Lester looks suspiciously at the art dealer and Signora Fantalei.
You're sure?
Signora Fantalei holds up a document.
All the documents confirming its origins are here.
As well as the required electrospectrography.
The art dealer hands the uncovered painting to Marcella. Marcella Trimble covers the painting.
Well, let's get this over with.
Lester picks up a briefcase from the floor. He then walks over to the desk, places the briefcase on the desk, and opens it.
It's all here. All 27 million.
Signora Fantalei holds her hand to her forehead.
Yes, the money. The price for genius. The genius of a master.
Suddenly, the old woman falls to the floor, overcome by an epileptic seizure. Lester and the art dealer try to help the old woman. Marcella moves to the door with the painting in hand.
What's going on?
I don't know, there's trouble. The old woman fell to the floor. She's having some kind of seizure.
Buteo calls in from the street below.
What's the word? Do we go in?
Just hold tight. We have an issue here.
The old woman is in convulsions. Lester and the art dealer are powerless to help her.
What's wrong with her?
Marcella, standing at the door, holds the painting close to her.
Lester, I don't like this. Let's go.
The art dealer tries to revive Signora Fantalei with no success.
You better go. I've seen this before. She needs time to recover. Just go. Take the painting and go. I'll take care of her.
Lester and Marcella move to the door and exit with the painting.
Okay, they're on the move. Get yourself down to the street.
What about the art dealer? And the old woman?
Just worry about the Americans. Get yourself down with Buteo and get those two coming out the entrance.
Kestrel picks up his walkie-talkie. Starling fixes his holster and handgun. Kestrel trains his binoculars on Buteo.
Okay, they're coming out. Starling's on his way down.
Buteo looks up at Kestrel. He removes his hot dog guy attire and runs towards the entrance of the apartment building.
Whatever you do, don't lose them. And get that damn painting.
Starling grabs his jacket and leaves. Kestrel again trains his binoculars on Buteo on the street below. Buteo waits near the entrance of the apartment building. Kestrel looks to the apartment where the art dealer is helping the old woman off the floor. He looks back at Buteo, and then back at the old woman and art dealer. He again trains his binoculars at Buteo. Starling has joined him at the entrance of the building. Starling looks back at the old woman and art dealer. Both have vanished.
So when did you become an expert on Renaissance art?
Cardinal sits on the edge of the bed, putting her clothes on.
Surprised?
A little.
Well, don't be. I'm a professional, remember? I took the time to find out what we're dealing with.
Which is?
A bunch of amateurs who rob museums, private castles and the like. They don't mean any real harm.
Just an innocent bit of theft, right?
Well, sure, it's theft. But you know, no one gets hurt. The paintings turn up sooner or later. The press gets a story and everyone's happy.
It's a crime.
Come on. It's not like trafficking drugs or arms or...
I can't believe I'm hearing this.
Listen, I gotta get going. I'll see you soon.
Cardinal kisses Kestrel on the forehead and leaves.
Are you sure they left the apartment?
Hang tight for a minute.
Kestrel searches the other exits of the building and returns to Starling and Buteo. He continues searching multiple locations. The American couple exit from the other end of the building.
I've got them. They've gone out the 8th Avenue exit.
Buteo and Starling run to the 8th Avenue exit. They spot Marcella and Lester. Marcella and Lester know they've been spotted and run. Starling and Buteo are in pursuit. Marcella and Lester run into an alley. They disappear into the alley. Starling and Buteo run into the alley. The alley breaks off into two streets. Starling and Buteo stop at the end of the alley, contemplating which path the couple took. Starling points to himself, then to the left. Buteo nods in agreement. They split off. Starling runs to the left, and Buteo to the right. Marcella and Lester stand straight up against a wall, trying not to be seen. Buteo runs past them. He suddenly stops. He walks slowly backwards to the spot where Marcella and Lester are standing. Buteo turns to the left. Marcella and Lester run behind him to the right. Buteo turns to his right. The couple quickly run behind him to the left. Buteo, confused, scratches his head. Marcella and Lester, seeing their chance, run off down the alley. Buteo hears them and pursues. Buteo gets closer to the couple. Lester turns around, grabs a garbage can, and throws it at Buteo. He falls to the ground. The American couple run off with the painting in hand. Limping, Buteo gets up, but it is too late. The couple have vanished.
We lost them.
You lost them.
Kestrel rubs his eyes.
Okay, just check out the apartment, but don't touch anything.
Kestrel throws the walkie-talkie on the desk. He holds his head in his hands. The door suddenly opens. Cardinal walks in.
Well, you missed all the action. We lost them.
You lost them?
3 months' work. We'll never hear the end of this.
Kestrel looks surprised.
Where did you find that?
You like this? I bought it at a costume shop.
You bought it?
Uh-huh, $7. Kestrel looks confused. Cardinal drops the cane on the ground, takes a wig from the duffel bag next to her, and throws it at Kestrel. Kestrel catches the wig. Cardinal then drapes Signora Fantalay's coat over the chair. An overcoat, a little bit of makeup.
Cardinal spins the chair playfully.
Some cheap jewellery.
Kestrel holds the wig with one hand.
Okay, I'm not getting this.
Non? Forse essere più chiaro se ti spiego come un bambino.
You're the old lady.
Cardinal turns her head slightly and looks at Kestrel. She smiles. She then places a briefcase on the desk.
You better start thinking about how we're going to spend this.
Cardinal opens the briefcase. Kestrel takes stacks of $50,000 notes from the briefcase. He holds the money up.
My God, you took all the money.
Well, not quite. I'm not greedy. Share and share alike, right? Let's see. There's the art dealer, and then there's the hooker, and of course the woman in the park.
And the painting?
Cardinal walks away from Kestrel and towards the cane.
Oh, that. A simple forgery.
Cardinal picks up the cane.
Worthless, really.
Cardinal walks over to Kestrel with the cane, smiling. Kestrel looks bewildered. He then breaks into a smile. He takes the cane from Cardinal, turns and twirls it in his hand. Cardinal moves closer to him. Smiling, Kestrel continues twirling the cane. Cardinal stands behind him with her arm around his waist. Camera pulls back. Camera zooms out. Camera pulls away from rooftop. Camera pulls away from rooftop, revealing the cityscape in the afternoon sun. Roll credits.